We had the same idea at the same time.
Let's come up.
Good morning.
Boss,
Good morning. How are you? Thank you, Kent.
Thank you.
The A's.
This is a movie in the 80s with a
I
robot
just
that looked
showed
just like this.
What's the topic?
Hi. Do you want a press release with the map?
Yes, I
of the
do, after I
camera
set up my
location?
microphone.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
Here's a run of show.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh, there was some speakers that didn't make any more.
No, it was
so
just,
this
for
is,
me, it was
leading
just the
for-
people in the background.
All right.
Right.
Well, good. I'll set the bar really low for you.
Well, you have to
I'll-
set the. You need to just set the mic.
You see what we did at Edgewater. I had everything set up perfectly, and it actually was perfect for me. So for the press
You
out
are
there,
too
we were
much.
kind of clowning around. There's a picture of me on my knees with the photo. It's like the perfect height.
The home front.
Everything's going fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're fortunate because we have 3 adult kids in Atlanta, a 9-year-old here. Like today, he'll be upset because there's no school. Every morning, it's
Some folks
okay,
from
right?
SFMTA are here,
Oh, awesome.
just because they did a similar thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Study.
I don't see you yet.
I remember being bored as a kid.
So we go do our area adventure. No, I don't go to school.
You can bring another beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our oldest, 24-year-old, in theory, may be in San Francisco. We'll see. But she's... we believe in that. We've had a few calls. Maybe one of
Oh, thank you.
Now you're like, you're gonna show up.
You represent well. All right, don't let me
Yes,
see it.
underneath the
Put
table.
my bag.
Hi.
Right, how are you? See you.
Good to see you. So happy to hear.
You don't want to do this?
Craig, you want to something on a tag in for me here?
No, thank you. Okay. One of your releases.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Just waiting on 2 more speakers.
Laura, Vera.
Thanks so much. Yeah, well, we know. That's what we wanted here. Yeah. It's better to get that. Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
Oh, when I was many years ago working in Africa, I sure shared a backpack. There's a lot of empty space. So over time,
Now, is there a like?
I'm on this quest to the right.
Maybe up to Lake Tahoe.
We're in front of one of the institutions
I mean, I don't get paid a lot. I've been meaning to look into that. And every time I'm at a president,
but I live in.
so you could use that mic actually. Because you wouldn't need the sword, is that right?
I always thought I was. Where'd you go?
Yeah. Yeah, and there are, people rowing across the...
Yeah, very low key. A little different than being like.
Although I am very inspired by scale. When they want to do something, it's like,
Press conference downtown on that hearing room where the mayor's always handing out. They put a spotlight right in front of us, right? And when I try to take photos of it, it's like a bright, like Jesus, like yeah. So they told me they wouldn't take it down until it was rated on move, and I was like, yeah.
I know. That's so nice of them.
Thank you very much for having your attorneys give them the permission to do so.
Yeah, just copy, paste,
I mean, my 10 years in government. Some days it's very
Why would you put that? Where like I come with a little more tact, but he would basically like, yeah, he would just go hard at it.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Ready to go? Good? All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kent Bravo, and I'm the Public Information Officer for the Oakland Department of Transportation, and I'll be hosting today's press conference. I want to thank everyone for joining this press conference for the Automated Speed Safety Camera Program and to recognize the 60-day warning period. We're here at one of the camera locations, and if you look to my left, on
Turn it, there you go.
that way,
And then turn it down just
just
a little.
a little, okay.
Yeah, it's a little over one side. There you go.
How about that? Perfect? All right. How about now? Is that okay?
Can you project? Can you talk loud?
Yeah, we can talk loud.
All right.
Really loud though. I gotta pick it up from one way over here.
All right. Wanted to thank everyone for coming to this press conference for the Automated Speed Safety Camera Program and to recognize the 60-day warning period. We're here at one of the camera locations, and if you look to my left on that white pole, you'll see one of the cameras. It's that black camera right there. There's also a non-operational camera on the table to my left if you want a closer look. So for today's event, we have a series of speakers who will give their remarks about the program. Then we'll have a Q&A with the media, so we ask that you save your questions until then. With that, I'll have the Oakland Mayor, Barbara Lee, come to the stand.
Well, good morning. Thank you for coming. And let me just start by thanking everyone who got us this far, especially to our Director of our Department of Transportation, Josh Warren. Thank you to Councilmember Wong, to everyone who has made this a reality. Let me just also thank all of our Oakland residents for being willing to be part of the solution. And that is by actually slowing down while driving and looking out for one another, making our city safer. Traffic safety is public safety. Too many Oakland families have lost loved ones due to traffic violence. Now, every week, 2 Oaklanders are seriously injured or killed in traffic crashes in the past. And speed is one of the biggest reasons that crashes become deadly. And so with this initiative, this program, we're actively addressing speeding to save lives. So today we're launching a 60-day warning period. This is a chance for everyone to get accustomed to this new system before any fines are issued. We want to change behavior and not just issue tickets. And let me be clear, because everyone is concerned about privacy. Photos will only be taken of license plates, and this is not connected to flock cameras. We also designed this program to be fair and just. We know that a fine hits different people at different income levels. That's why there is an income-based option for people with lower incomes while still making sure that everyone is held accountable for driving safely. Every citation will include information about eligibility and how to apply. And let me be clear in terms of why equity matters here. traffic crashes disproportionately impact BIPOC communities, seniors, children, and people with disabilities. Black Oakland residents are 2 times, mind you, let me be clear, 2 times more likely to be killed or severely injured in a traffic crash more so than other residents. Now this is because of decades, and I mean decades, of redlining, which meant specific neighborhoods, and this is systemic and structural. Specific neighborhoods were historically denied infrastructure investments to improve traffic safety, and that's a fact. These discriminatory policies, they're a thing of the past now, but we still feel the effects today. We are actively trying to correct that. If this works the way it should, we should see fewer citations over time because people are slowing down, and that's the point. And any revenue generated goes directly back into traffic safety improvements. This program comes on the heels of real progress. Now from 2022 to 2025, traffic deaths in Oakland decreased more than 30%. Safety improvements on International Boulevard are working. Pedestrian deaths dropped from 7 in 2023 to 0 in 2025. 0. And so I want to thank you all, and thank you for reporting this. These are facts. With this program, we're really hopeful to see this downward trend continue. And so thank you all again for coming out, and I'll turn this back over now to Councilmember Juan. Thank you again.
Hi everyone. Thank you for everyone being here, for Mayor Lee's leadership, our transportation department, and I actually want to thank our state legislators for getting this bill through the state that allows actually for Oakland to be part of this program and install 18 speed cameras. I'm the chair of public safety, and this is one of the programs that I feel the most strongly about, and which is why I felt it was important for me to stand here in support of this program. Not many people know that actually the reason I ran is because I started looking into the lack of safety infrastructure after a speeding driver going about 70 miles per hour on a local road tried to hit me, and I started to look into why don't we have license plate readers? Why don't we have speed cameras, especially when you look at cities around the United States? This is basic speeding infrastructure. And we know that when it comes to speeding, that the difference of 10 miles per hour of a speeder makes a difference between someone dying and someone staying alive. And so it's incredibly important that we have speed cameras that can adjust the behavior across the city. I also want to speak to the mayor's comments around equity. This is so important. Chinatown, which is one of the neighborhoods that I represent, is also on that high injury network. It's a lot of frail, elderly people that are on Medicaid and Medi-Cal, and it is the lives of these folks that we are protecting. I also remember that the mayor and Director Rowan and I, one of the earliest things that we did when I came into office was to install that bike lane along Lakeshore Avenue where that young girl, Maya Carrera, was killed. It was devastating. The way that traffic violence, at least 30 lives a year, devastates people's lives is totally unacceptable. So I am just so glad that this is happening, and I also actually want to call on our state legislators to allow us to install more cameras. Okay, 18 across the city is not enough. That's it. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Josh Rowan, Director of Department of Transportation. For 2026, I'm going to take a little different approach to these events. I used to thank the team, but I'd like to do a little bragging today. Here we stand. Just feel that warm sunshine. Best weather in America. We know we have the best food in America. I'm a little biased, but we have the best mayor in America. We have the best DOT in America, and we have the best safety advocates in America. So it shouldn't be a surprise that we're delivering cutting-edge projects like this. But I just want to talk for a minute about speeding. Speeding is a conscious choice that we as drivers make. The car doesn't force us to speed. The streets don't force us to speed. Our culture and our driving habits, our driving behavior is what drives speeding, which is what's causing the violent crashes and the fatalities on our streets. So we all have a decision to make when we get in the car. Don't speed. 90% of drivers are speeding today. I'm not speeding today. I rode the bus here. I would encourage you all to ride the bus and walk more, and you'll see the city from a different perspective. But when you look around, you see an infrastructure that for 80 years has centered on the automobile, which is fine. We need to slow them down because these public spaces are for people. Plain and simple, streets are for people. And so my message to the drivers is, look at your speedometer. You're choosing to speed, and because of these red and green things you see, you're not going to get there faster. Drive the speed limit, pay attention to what you're doing, because our families are crossing the street and walking on the sidewalk. So we're very excited that this is a tool that's now available to us. We already have some winners, if you will, some areas that are proving to be overachieving when it comes to speeding, and I think we can talk about that at another time. So great opportunity to be here. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to turn things over to my partners in the safety advocacy community to say a few words.
Would you step up with me, please? Our traffic safety advocacy community. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Huang. I'm the board president of Walk Oakland, Bike Oakland, a nonprofit group whose mission is to improve the quality of life in Oakland by making walking and bicycling safe, accessible, inclusive, and amazing. We see this particular pilot as part of a suite of solutions in the city of Oakland that employs deep collaboration across multiple departments throughout the city to reduce traffic violence. And one of the things that, if you don't already know, the 20-30-40 rule, put this in your books. If you're a pedestrian and you're hit by a vehicle at 20 miles per hour, your chance of survival is 9 out of 10 times. This is notwithstanding serious injuries and long-term impacts on your personal health and your family. In 30 miles per hour, your chance of survival is 5 out of 10. 40 miles per hour, only 1 in 10 will survive. Speed kills. Now, I want to also note that we're standing at a site where you can visibly see all the changes that has happened in the city of Oakland already, and may be attributable to the reduction in traffic fatalities and serious injuries. We really love ODOT for having the determination to change the design of roadways, to put in speed humps, to put in speed cushions, to change lane configurations, to reduce the number of lanes for throughput traffic, but also leveling up the infrastructures to make the city of Oakland safer and more comfortable for walking and bicycling. These are critical, but today what we see is an additional tool in ODOT's tool belt, or the city of Oakland's tool belt, to continue reducing the impacts of traffic violence. And I am surrounded by partners in this particular work to really encourage us to look at the data. Transparency is paramount in any initiative to ensure its effectiveness and to ensure that its impact is well recorded and intentionally reviewed, and also to ensure that all the work that we do is in alignment with the City of Oakland's equity goals. So I thank you all for being here, but just being aware that WOBO is not the only entity out here trying to ensure that people in Oakland can live well. I'm surrounded by traffic safety advocates who also want the same, and I'm pretty sure that you too want the same for Oakland. So thank you very much for including the safety advocacy groups here at today's conference, and we look forward to working with the city to ensure that we stay true to the mission of this particular project. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Will Barno. I'm with Vera Mobility. We're the vendor that's running this camera program. Vera Mobility couldn't be more proud to partner with Oakland for this program that's going to be a standard, not only for California, but we think for the world. Vera Mobility is a camera company, but we're really more than that. We're a safety company. We measure success based on changes of behavior and lives saved, and we're proud that the data proves that these systems work. Oakland had a thoughtful procurement process. We invested in that process. We leaned into the policy and the requirements, and now we're excited to launch this program today. When AB 645 passed, which is the law that allowed for these camera programs to be done, we looked at it as the most thoughtful law that we've ever seen. Data protection, equity and enforcement, ensuring that those dollars are invested back into the community. These are new standards that are being looked at throughout the world and the United States. And I want to hone in on one piece, which is about the data and what's being done. These are not surveillance cameras. These are cameras that are only used for the purpose of slowing folks down and saving lives. The DOT is the one that operates this program, not law enforcement. So with that, I'm very excited that we're part of this partnership, and we're really looking forward to seeing the results. Thank you.
All right, at this point, we'll open it up to questions from the media. We ask that you keep the questions related to the speed cameras. If you have any questions outside of that, I would save them after the program is over.
Somebody said there was 0 pedestrian deaths in Oakland last year. That doesn't seem to be supported. Where is that in a particular corridor, or is that citywide?
The question about the pedestrian fatalities, that's actually on the international corridor. The Department of Transportation and AC Transit have been working very closely for the past 2 years, and in 2025 the pedestrian fatality number was in fact 0. So we have more work to do, but
international or for the whole city?
For International Boulevard.
What about the whole city?
I would have to look at that data. We're seeing drops across the city, but we were very focused on International because about 30% of our problem was on International. So we made a very intentional effort to focus on East 14th.
There's been a little confusion on the start of the 60 days. Was it Wednesday or is it actually today?
It was Wednesday. The 60 days has started.
Josh, I'm curious about enforcement of fines. Could you explain how fines are issued, people receive them in the mail, the amount of time they have to pay them, and the consequences if they don't?
So it's a civil penalty. They will get a citation in the mail. I don't want to misspeak on the amount of time. Typically that's 30 days. And much like a parking ticket, then you'll get a reminder, and we'll start following up if payment's not made.
And just to follow up, heard about the dynamic income-based fine issuance. Somebody who's around like the poverty line, what kind of fine would they be issued?
So that's going to be something that the team will work with. But again, to echo the comments that were made earlier, this is really a program to drive speeds down. We have to demonstrate to the state as part of this pilot that speed is being reduced in these locations. This is not revenue generation. And so again, to what I said earlier, speeding's a choice. If you don't want the camera to send you a ticket, drive the speed limit.
Where does the money go collected from the fines?
So the money actually goes back into traffic safety. They're very specific uses that were spelled out in the legislation.
In Oakland?
In Oakland.
So how much is the pilot program
Let us get back with you on the specifics, because we've had to cobble together several funding sources to get this done. I don't want to misrepresent where all the money came from.
Right now, on that question, do you know how long this pilot project will last with the funding that's currently available?
Let me phone a friend on that one. How long are we running on this?
5 year.
5 years.
Authorization.
So it's a 5-year authorization.
How much will it cost?
Well, I may bring the camera guy up here who knows.
Sorry, I missed that question.
How much does a camera cost?
I don't have the specifics on how much the camera costs. So you have to keep in mind that it's a process, right? And so you have the camera, but then you also have the process of issuing the violations, collecting the violations, and going through the adjudication process.
Hey, Will, you guys are, is Redflex a subsidiary of Vera, and which is Redflex as a brand that's operating cameras? Can you describe the corporate structure?
Yeah, Redflex no longer exists. We acquired that company several years ago.
So it's all Vera.
Correct.
Can you talk about how the locations were selected and mentioned that some are only improving to how
Yeah, so the selections were based upon the high injury network, and we tried to distribute them pretty broadly throughout that network and hit areas that have been high frequency crash sites. And so yes, there have been some locations that are really standing out as overachievers when it comes to speeding already. Again, it's a choice. We make these choices every day.
How are they powered? Are they solar powered or hardwired? And in San Francisco, it's all solar.
We are hardwired, I believe. Yes, we are drawing 120 for these.
Can you explain what we're seeing with the speeding ticket amounts? There's a public benefit to this kind of rate. Can you explain what that is?
So that's where we are sliding the scale based on income. Again, this is not meant to be the big money maker. This is meant to slow people down.
Are the fines any different than if you were to get pulled over by OPD?
Yeah, I believe they are different. It's set. I actually don't know what OPD is issuing their tickets for when they're pulling people over. Quite often you're getting multiple charges when you get cited for multiple things.
And so that's possible because this system is not monitored by law enforcement or used by law enforcement. It's just OPD.
That's correct. In fact, when we first started this pilot, OPD made it clear they wanted nothing to do with this, and I think that was best. We came out early and said this is a DOT pilot, and if something happens that's not right, I'm the one to blame. OPD has no involvement in this.
So maybe the difference, if I get pulled over and they issue me a ticket, I get a point on my license. Can you explain, like, in this situation, you don't know who the driver is, so is the fine attached to the vehicle or to a human?
Think of like the tolling technology. It's going to be tied to the tag on the vehicle.
Do you guys have the staff to process these tickets in that event?
We are working on building that team. We do have a strong mobility team. We're working with our partners in finance to round out what that effort's going to look like.
And who does like the maintenance and the installation? Is that your vendor or is that you guys?
The vendor will be assisting us with maintenance.
So they'll be holding your hand the whole 5-year pilot. That if something goes wrong with the camera, they're out here fixing it.
That's correct.
The website says you could do community service instead of a fine. Can you talk about that?
I would rather follow up with you on that because I'm not up to speed on what community service offerings we would provide. But again, we're trying to provide options for people that aren't getting into their pocket. We really just want people to slow down.
Excuse me, what the percentage the city gets from this? Like from the revenue, what the percentage the city will get, actual percentage, versus what the private company gets?
Again, we'll have to provide those details separately.
18 cameras?
18 cameras, yes.
Can you explain where the data goes
acquisition through hardware, software, who's looking at it, then where does it go back to, et cetera, until it runs out?
So every citation that's produced by the system has to be reviewed by a human before the citation's issued, and then the data cannot be shared by the state pilot, by the law, with law enforcement.
Can you explain who's looking at it, which agency? Are the hardware manufacturers having access to that data?
We are managing that data, DOT.
Does Oakland have any other type of function or division within the department that does anything similar in terms of levying fines or collecting fees or anything like that?
So we have a parking enforcement group, and so for several years DOT has been issuing traffic citations. So we have about 60 people who are out on a daily basis. If you get a ticket today in Oakland, it's being written by a DOT employee.
Is that going to change though? Because I hear somewhere that's being transferred to finance.
That's correct. Those staff are in the process of being transferred to finance.
And will they then have responsibility for monitoring or helping with this program, or is that somebody different?
That we're working out those details right now. Presently, DOT is responsible for it. We'll maintain control over the program. The logistics of processing the citations, we are still in talks with finance about that.
A quick question about the surveillance point. So in 2019, there was a study, 82 California agencies collected more than 1 billion license plate scans using ALPRs, but 99.9% of this data was not actively related to an investigation when it was collected. I'm sure you're familiar with the lawsuit happening in San Jose, alleging like Fourth Amendment rights infringement by this kind of understanding where people are, even people who are not speeding, even people who are not committing a crime. What would you say to people who are worried about their Fourth Amendment right to privacy?
So I think we're conflating the use of ALPRs through law enforcement with this program. This is simply geared towards speed reduction, and that's the focus.
But does it scan all license plates?
It will trigger when the car is speeding.
So it's not scanning all license plates that drive by?
I would have to ask our camera vendor. My understanding is that it's triggered by speed, and that if you're not speeding, then you're not being processed. Are you?
The answer is no.
No. Okay. The answer is no.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great day.
All right. That wraps up our program. Thank you all for coming and have a great weekend. Thank you.